Hey everyone, this is a fairly brief video for newcomers and even some fairly seasoned players of Difference here, looking for a few extra little tips to help in their DF2 life. Some of this information could be wrong as I only have 18 hours in Difference 2, and considering that the game is only available to a select amount of streamers and YouTubers, a lot of this isn't on paper, so to speak. This guide could become heavily outdated one day. I'm first going to jump into some general pointers that will be very important, and then I'll be going into the extra tips which are more or less optional, but can be very useful. Number 1, take part in missions. Missions are incredibly important for leveling up and making cash fast early game. A lot of the missions are very simple and do not require much problem solving at all. In most cases it involves looking for someone in a specific building, in a specific area, and then finding them. Or perhaps looting an item that belongs to the character. You'll find, like key cards and it says property of whoever. To prove their death, and then you can head back to the NPC you originally asked for a mission and then receive your reward that way. There are also various other missions such as travelling to a certain area and either killing all of the infected in the street or clearing out an entire building. Number 2, stock up before doing anything. This is probably one of the most crucial tips I could give. You really want to be stocked up with meds, ammo, food and water when looting a large building, as those things are basically never ending and you can take upwards of 40 minutes to fully search one building and clear out all of the arseholes inside, so you better make sure you're ready for the trip. Number 3, the market. I'm not going to go over any tips on how to own the market in quotation marks, as I'm very stupid myself and a lot of the time I'm ill knowledge about this kind of stuff, so I'm just going to quickly go over the basics. In the market you can click the buying tab to search for any item you need. There's quite a fair few parameters you can set when searching on the market, and of course the selling tab is fairly self-explanatory. When selling any item, check the market price for that item before putting it up there, as you may be selling it too high or too low. The outgoing offers and incoming offers tabs are basically where you can trade privately with another player. And when I say trade, I don't mean actually trade items between each other, just, generally just sell an item to a player. I also don't have any footage for this, but you can also walk up to another player or their vehicle in the same area and send offers to each other that way instead. Number 4, pick your starting skills wisely. There are various different skills in Difference 2 that you unlock as you level up. The first 3 are more than likely the most important ones to pick and ultimately depend on what kind of player you are. I tend to like a mix of stealth and fast-paced action, so the first 3 I would pick would be Sprinter, Stealth and Kickboxing. Sprinter is an incredibly useful and probably the most important skill in the game, as you cannot sprint without it, which you will desperately need as you progress through the game. Stealth is great early game as you can perform surprise kills, which in most cases either knock out a zombie doing loads of damage for a bit, or just kill them outright. Kickboxing is also very important. It allows you to kick zombies Duke Nukem style. It's very useful for dealing with more than one zombie when using melee. Number 5, Aggro. Very simple but important tip to know for anyone new to Dead Frontier in general. Be very careful when using guns and use them only when you really need to. Shooting guns will attract zombies from other areas, for example, or just across the streets when you're outside, and you may get overwhelmed if you aren't careful. Okay, so on to the more technological stuff, my favourite kind of stuff, the extra tips I've got here, that are mainly optional. You can do whatever you like with them, it's up to you, but I think they're pretty useful. Little life hacks for Dead Frontier 2. Number 1. When using a melee weapon, strike the zombie using either the main or secondary attack, and then as soon as you hear the zombie get hit, turn the opposite direction. This will give you an extra bit of distance from that zombie that you could desperately need in certain situations. The reason this works is because when you either strike with a melee weapon or kick, for example, your character will lunge forward a bit, and as you can turn while the animation is playing, you can exploit that extra bit of distance to quickly strike and then get away from your target again. Credit to ZeroLife for this trick. He taught me it the other day and it is incredibly useful. So check out his stuff and I'll have his link in the description. Hopefully his Twitch and YouTube. So yeah, thanks again for that one, dude. Adding on to this one, if you have the kickboxing perk, you can also deal with more than one zombie fairly easily. Simply kick one zombie out of the way, and remember to do the turn trick, and then attempt to strike the other zombie and then rinse and repeat. Very useful trick. If you want to travel, but like me can barely be asked to walk all the way to your car, you may be closer to the edge of the block than the car, so unless you need to apply something to your car or store something in it, simply walk to the edge of the block and the travel menu will come up. It works just the same as if you were using the car. Number 3. If you are struggling to find many missions, you may want to explore the outposts further. On the surface they look very small, as they are only interiors, but they function just like a standard building, and have loads of different NPCs in different rooms that in a lot of cases will have a mission waiting for you. And there's just a couple tips to help get your feet wet in the world of Dead Frontier 2. I've had a crazy amount of fun discovering and exploring this game, and I cannot wait to jump into it with all of you when the game launches on the 31st. It's been a great experience, and I can't wait to continue playing it. It's just great. It is just great. It is fantastic. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this guide. If you did, feel free to leave a like. I hate saying that shit. I'm not saying that again. If you did, that's great, man. That's great. Thank you for watching. I might do another one of these when I know a bit more about the game, but I wanted to get a quick little guide video out for new players and a few seasoned players just in case, because a lot of these tricks are very useful, especially the extra tips ones. I really do like those tips, so I would share this with someone who's new to the game, just in case, because there is quite a lot. I'm surprised. I've been playing Dead Frontier 2, and there is quite a lot to the combat and quite a lot to know. I was not expecting it to be so in depth, especially combat wise. A lot of the stuff like market and the aggro is quite normal, but I didn't expect the combat to be so deep, you know. So I would definitely, I'd definitely advise getting your friend to check out, well, anyone in general, getting them to check out either this guide or someone else's guide. I'm sure there's other people who have guides, you know, coming out and stuff. Whatever tickles your fancy. But I hope you enjoy my attempt at a guide. I've only done one guide once, which was a Quake Champions guide, which is completely outdated now, which is shit. But I really hope you enjoy this guide. Recording it at 5:40 in the morning. I need help. But yeah, I shall be off now. And thank you for watching the video. I really appreciate it.